We have just launched a brand new feature inside of the Cerbos Playground, which enables you to very quickly get up and running writing policy. For those of you who haven't tried the Cerbos Playground before, it's available at play.cerbos.dev, and it's a very simple web environment and IDE for you to design, test, experiment, and prototype on your policies without having to run anything on your local machine or set things up or download anything like that. It's all done in browser. So you learn at play.cerbos.dev, we have this new option here called the Policy Wizard. And this is an RBAC Policy Generator. So RBAC, Role-Based Access Control, is kind of the most basic type of authorization that you typically implement inside of a system, where you're granting access based on different users' roles to different parts of the system. This policy generator does exactly that. It generates RBAC policies for you by answering a few questions. The way this works is you give the system a list of the different roles that exist in your side of your system today. So user, admin, let's say we go and add in here manager. As a different example, these are the high-level roles that your users would have, generally set up in some sort of identity provider or your own kind of user database. The next thing you define are the different resources that you have inside of your system. So the policy generator here has an example policy called basic resource, and it's got some actions. So you can create, read, update, delete, being the most typical kind of actions you might have, and then the different actions that you can do. And then here, through this matrix, we just tick the boxes for which ones we expect each role to do. And if your system will most likely have more than one resource type, so we can go and add another resource. Let's say we have an invoice resource, say you're a finance system, and maybe the actions aren't create, read, update, delete. It might be like approve, deny, duplicate, whatever might be relevant for your business unit. And then you get the same input of this matrix where you have the different actions, the different roles, and you can go and tick all the different roles that should have the permission to do that particular action on that particular resource type. So say I populated this out, filled in everything we need, go and hit generate. And what's happened here is the policy generator, unsurprisingly, has gone and generated the different policies for you. So at most basic, it creates resource policies. So this is a Cerbos resource policy for a basic resource. We have rules for each of the actions, create, read, update, delete, etc., as well as the list of the roles that should be allowed to do each action. And we can see the same for the invoice resource, the approve, the deny, actions are in here as well. And then below it, we have actually this comment. So Cerbos actually will generate a code comment that will show you actually how to go to the next level of RBAC, which is ABAC, or attribute-based access control, and gives you kind of a code snippet that you can just go and comment and start iterating on to add that attribute-based check. So we're actually adding a condition to that rule where we check a value of the attribute. So as well as creating the policies, because tests are always a very nice thing to have when you want to make sure you're doing everything your system thinks it does. It also goes and generates a test suite. So behind the scenes, Cerbos has generated inside the playground different example resources and principles for each of the types we defined. So we have some principles, and these are all defined in our test data files. So we have 3 different principles. It's generated a couple of different resource types. And in our tests, it's gone and put in what the expected result is. So if I were to actually change this, that test is now going to fail. You get that feedback right in the bottom here that tells you which rule failed, and you can kind of go and fix it. So not only is Cerbos generating the policy, but it's actually generating that snapshot of what the expected outcomes are. So as well as generating the files, if you're familiar with the playground, you're probably familiar with this sidebar where you can actually go and test and experiment on different policy types, etc. And you can get that feedback directly. So the rest of the playground works as you'd expect if you've already used the playground. If you're using the playground, it gives this real-time feedback right here in the UI. So once you've got your policies happy, you can then go and export them, you can save them, you can actually go and try the API directly through right here inside of the playground. But we'd love to get your thoughts on how this is useful, what other features you'd like to see. You can tweet us or you can join us in our Slack community, and we're happy to answer any questions and love to hear from you. So that's it. Take care.